Are you coming back to school with me? We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm your host on Teaching with Board Games, here today to take a look at Mystery Money Cash Register by Learning Resources. So the Mystery Money Cash Register is a game, it's more of a resource than a game that has some fun activities and things in it. And I will sort of say there is a learning resource booklet that's supposed to come with this, but this was given to me, so I don't have that one available. But it's a cute little set. It has a whole thing here with a little cash register. Well, here this doesn't, the buttons don't actually work. It's just printed on, and the drawer pops out here. I'll carefully remove that. And the money. That's one thing I don't like about it. The coins tend to spill around quite easily. But not like you're really expecting this stuff to stay organized with kids touching it, are you? And then they have these little pouches here with some special cards in there. So let me take you to the report card before I tell you too much about how the game is played. So for a number of players for Mystery Money Cash Register, I'm going to give it an A. I give it the A because it is incredibly diverse and flexible. I mean, it is what you need it to be. If you want to work one-on-one with somebody on some money problems, hey, this is a great resource to do that. You have a very physical, tangible resource where you have little bills and coins, and you can do that. If you want to be doing something as a group play, then hey, this can be done too. So obviously I don't think it's going to be able to accommodate large groups, but then again, if you're playing with 4-year-olds, are you going to want large groups, especially when there's so many small pieces? So it's very flexible in what it's doing, based on the needs that you have for it. So for that, I give it the A. For learning for Mystery Money, I'm going to give it an A+. I think that this game has a lot of really great things going for it. I love the fact that it's anything to do with the money and stuff, the kids are going to be interested and drawn to it because this is something meaningful. They see their parents spending money. It's a very grown-up thing to do, to spend money. I think kids are going to be drawn to that kind of thing, and so that's going to engage them. Besides which, you have with the realistic-looking coins, plastic coins, and the $5 and $10 bills. But then you also have this little gimmick thing that they have. So they'll have things here. So you may have to have somebody reading that for them. But like I have 5 coins that equal 25 cents. What are they? And then you can, on the back is this thing here. And let me see if I can you see that? Kind of. So when you put it in there, oh, there we are. 5 nickels. So yeah, it's a neat little gimmick. And let's face it, it is a gimmick. But it's one that the kids are going to be drawn to sort of see that kind of thing. So you have those kinds of questions, and then you have questions like this where you're identifying values of the money that you see, and then the final ones, you have these where you have an item that you're buying and the money that you're subtracting from, and then you can make the change. So there's all kinds of different ways, different levels that you can be doing the learning here. So in that way, you are being able to accommodate to different learning needs of the students in one activity. Even within a group, you can challenge different students in different ways. But this doesn't even have to be used as a learning resource in that way. If you're doing it with very small children, then just having this activity available to them, maybe keeping the cards away for a time where you are going to be using it for the special viewer here, but they can just use the money for their own creative play. And in that way, they can start using money and understanding money as a value and currency and identifying coins. There's just so many things that you can be doing with it. There's just so much math involved in this thing in terms of the counting of money, the identification of money, the understanding the value of money, and so on and so on. So it's a wonderful resource and very flexible. Love it. A+. For fun, I'm going to give the game an A. I think that, as I said earlier, that kids are drawn to these kinds of things because it's something they see grown-ups doing. They understand spending money is a very grown-up thing, and being able to buy things and purchase things and making their own decisions about what they're buying and purchasing. I mean, they're not always having choice of what they're buying and purchasing with the cards and things here, but when they're doing creative play, they certainly can be. And with the cards that they have, I mean, just being able to do those things and using the viewfinder, I call it a viewfinder, but that's sort of like the old-fashioned toy. I'm really dating myself with that one. But using this special revealer box there to show what's written is just it's a cute gimmick that the kids are really going to get a kick out of, and I think that's something that's going to keep them engaged as well. So I mean, but let's face it, it's designed for 4-year-olds, so not much is going to keep their attention for too long, unless it's YouTube or something nonsense like that. But overall, I think they're going to have a great time with this one. For time, I'm going to give the game an A. This game is as long as you need it to be. Remember how I said it was flexible for number of players and flexible for the learning? Well, it's flexible for the time too. You can play it for 5 minutes, you can play it for 10 minutes, you can play it for an hour if their attention span lasts that long. Whatever you need it to be, this game is there for you, because it's not really a game. There's no winners and losers, there's no beginning, middle, end, there is just play. There is just, let's do some different activities, let's do some different things, and how you use it and how long you use it is all up to you. For cost, I'm going to give the game an A+. I always talk about the value of a game based on how much play you're going to get out of it. Now, as you probably have already guessed, the way I've been describing this game, I think this is a game you're going to get a lot of play out of, just because there is so much you can do with it. And I found it on Scholastic for only $10. And Level Up Games or no other game stores I know of carry this right now because it's not really a game. So you'd really be looking to the Scholastic for this one. And at $10, you can't beat that. And so I think that with the amount of use you're going to get out of this, and it's only $10, it's just absolutely, yes, must have, win, get it now. Yeah, I can't say anything much more about that. It's an A+ for sure. And so normally at this point I'd be taking you to show you how the game is played, but I've kind of shown you how it's played. They have those different cards which you use in the Finder. They have, as I show here, a resource book that you can be using for different activity ideas. You can use money and creative play. There's all kinds of different things you can be doing with this, but that is really kind of it. There's nothing more to show you. Like I say, overall, I think this game is great. I think it's got, well, I keep calling it game because I talk about games, but this is this activity. It's just got, like I said, a lot going for it in a lot of different levels, and I think it's one that you should be considering for your primary classroom, kindergarten, grade 1, even grade 2 and 3. Can make some use out of this with the coins and this making change and things like that. There's definitely things you can be doing with this. So, highly recommend this one. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode on Mystery Money Cash Register. If you have any other ideas for games you might like to see on the channel, or activities or resources that you know of that would be good on the channel to help educators like myself to learn about resources that we can have to help students in our classrooms, or if you're a parent and want to help your children at home, then what kinds of resources can we have to make learning more fun? Because really, that's what this channel is all about, is looking at resources and ways to motivate kids to play and learn at the same time. If that sounds good to you, then please do remember to hit like and subscribe down below. It really does help the channel, and I do appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Craig Thompson Wood, your host on Teaching with Board Games, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school?